In this episode of Latitudes, we begin a tour of one of the world's most romantic group of islands, French Polynesia, also known as Tahiti. From this island paradise, we travel to Pakistan and join a Welgies adventure tour for this most fascinating region. We leave Pakistan and travel to the remote island of Papua New Guinea and board a luxury liveaboard dive vessel called the Paradise Sport. And we stay in the tropics with a visit to the Seychelles group of islands. The closest island to Tahiti is Moorea, and it's reached by plane or ferry. The plane trip is a short 7-minute flight, and the ferry will have you in Moorea in approximately 30 minutes. The aircraft and ferries are the gateway to what can only be described as a jewel in the Pacific. Moorea has many high-standard luxury accommodation facilities and also offers a good range of charming guest houses. There are fantastic moments with dolphins, and for those who feel some passion for the underwater world, a first dive into the Moorea Lagoon will prove that the waters of Moorea are some of the richest and most coloured in the world. From the Belvedere lookout, you can view marvellous bays. The scenic beauty stretches as far as the eye can see. At Moorea, there are plenty of activities to keep even the most active traveller occupied for months. Some activities include four-wheel drive trails, climbing and trekking, and even horse riding. You will live an exhilarating and enriching experience at the Tiki Village, where you can witness Polynesian craftsmen creating art. You'll also be offered food from the traditional Polynesian earth oven. All the food is steamed and gives off enticing aromas. At Tiki Village, you can explore traditional culture in the form of dancing, carvings, sewing and weaving. If you wish to marry or renew your wedding vows, a typical traditional Tahitian ceremony will be specially staged for you, which will leave you with a memory for life. Dutch artist Aard van der Heide has operated Gallery van der Heide since 1964. In 1975, one of his paintings was selected for use on the French Polynesian postage stamps. It's an artistic air that creates the special atmosphere that reigns in Moorea and deserves special mention. This is Pakistan, and the capital is Quetta. It's a vibrant market town with equally colourful merchants.
Small table for telephone, like these things. Well, for you, 1,500, and this is my card.
Travellers can stay at the 5-star Serena Hotel. Its distinctive architecture and furnishings are based upon local traditions. This gateway was the site of many ancient invasions and was part of the Silk Road caravans. In every city, the old bartering traditions live on. This is a local horse and cattle show where proud owners show off their best. For the adventure-loving tourist, few places in the world can compare to Pakistan's northern areas. tour starts with a scenic flight to the town of Gilgit in the heart of the Karakoram mountain range. The knowledgeable guides at Welgi's Adventure Tours regional office make all the arrangements. From a trek to the world's highest polo match, to a sightseeing tour by luxury motor coach. As always, the guides direct the traveller to the best in lodgings and food that the area has to offer. The most popular destination is the Valley of Hunza. It's famed for its unspoiled scenery and friendly people. Overlooking the village of Karema is Bolted Fort, a 700-year-old fortress now beautifully restored and open to the public. Nearby, tourists on an Adventure Pakistan trek enjoy the spectacular views. These trekkers have just returned from a 3-week safari in China by camel. This woman is explaining, it was billed as the experience of a lifetime, and it truly was. We did a lot of crossing of raging rivers on the camel. I don't think I ever want to go through that experience again, but I'll never forget it. Her husband continues, we've been to the Himalayas and elsewhere, and we really must say that the Karakorams and the mountains we've been through, and the ones we've seen here, are just the most magnificent scenery in the world. We've really had a marvellous month. When touring Pakistan, it's important to book and plan with knowledgeable and respected guides, and Welgi's Adventure Tours are such a company. Pakistan's diversity allows Welgi's Adventure to plan a wide range of trips through their Adventure Pakistan division. Here, we join a jeep safari en route to Chandura Pass, 3,700 metres high in the Hindu Kush. Each year, teams from Gilgit and Shatruk vie for the honour of the polo championships from the northern areas. This is a week-long festival of tribal dance and music. For those seeking even more action, there's whitewater rafting. Experts have described Pakistan as the sport's most exciting frontier. Welgi's Adventure Pakistan has pioneered whitewater trips with runs from Class 1 to Class 5. All tours are operated by trained river guides with extensive experience. This woman explains, it's been fabulous, the scenery and the spectacular rivers, wild and wet, but no one's gone out of the boats and we have excellent guides. We have a wonderful cooking camp. There's great meals for us and the country, Pakistan, is beautiful. Love to come back someday. Papua New Guinea is a diver's paradise, and this is a Mike Ball adventure. For part of the year, they operate from Kavieng. This is one of Papua New Guinea's most picturesque and friendly locations. Kavieng is the departure point for some of the most exciting diving in Papua New Guinea. A few minutes from the harbour is the extremely photogenic the Liang, which rests in 30 metres on its starboard side. The Liang was confiscated from poachers by the Papua New Guinea government and deliberately sunk as an artificial reef. 1 to 2 dives are spent exploring the wreck and the nearby reef. Kavieng hosts some of Papua New Guinea's best pelagic action when the currents are running. Gliding along the wall, you become engulfed in huge schools of barracuda and trevally. Baitfish assemble at the edge of the drop-off, while sharks, mackerel and tuna flash through the clouds of fish. This spectacular cuttlefish and predatory lionfish are common encounters at the superb Kavieng night dive sites. Witness a variety of many shark species at many sites. These large, graceful silver-tip sharks are often seen and will usually approach divers and provide great photographic opportunities. Since Kimby Bay has an unusually high level of biodiversity, rare and unusual invertebrates and fish have been found here. You'll see huge schools of barracuda and trevally. One site we travel to is Grove Island, an extinct ancient volcanic crater. The almost completely enclosed lagoon is about 5 kilometres wide and has near vertical walls that plunge into the sea. It's breathtakingly beautiful and seems lost in time. If you're considering a diving holiday in the warm tropics, consider an adventure with Mike Ball Dive Expeditions and have the trip of a lifetime aboard the world's best liveaboard, the Paradise Sport. Mike Ball also operates in Australia and offers trips to the Great Barrier Reef with his vessel Spoil Sport. This magnificent craft's base is the city of Townsville. The trips cover pristine sections of the Great Barrier Reef, remote coral sea reefs and the spectacular wreck of the Yongala. On the Great Barrier Reef, divers can expect to see a huge variety of colourful and unusual creatures like moray eels. Nudibranchs, like this one that's just laid eggs, are favourite subjects of macro photographers and come in a dizzying variety of colours and shapes. Their brilliant and conspicuous colour patterns warn predators that they are distasteful and should be left alone. But nudibranchs are not the only beautiful and photogenic invertebrates on the reef. Smaller crustaceans like this hermit crab are abundant. Delicate and translucent crystal shrimp are common too. There are 7 species of anemone fish on the Great Barrier Reef, including the pink or white-maned anemone fish. A major highlight of Spoil Sport trips is Flinders Reef, a remote coral reef complex 200 kilometres offshore in the Coral Sea, with sheer walls, endless drop-offs, towering pinnacles, caverns, swim-throughs and crystal clear waters with 40-metre visibility. Tawny nurse sharks and other large creatures are sure to keep the diver amused. On the walls and insides of the lagoons, ranks of huge Gorgonian fans, some over 14 feet in diameter, and colourful soft coral trees flourish in the crystal clear waters. A highlight of every spoil sport trip is a shark feed at Scuba Zoo. Scuba Zoo has the world's largest shark cage complex. Divers have the rare opportunity to safely witness and photograph up to 40 sharks at close quarters. The main types of sharks are grey whalers and silver-tipped whalers. Once the feed is over, the sharks simply return to their daily business of cruising the reef. No visit to Flinders Reef is complete without a sunset visit to Flinders Cay, a turtle and bird walkery, with seabirds nesting all year round and turtles laying eggs around the New Year period. Renowned as one of the world's best wreck dives, the Yongala lies in 30 metres, or 100 feet of water, and is an oasis for a spectacular array of marine life. The Yongala was a passenger freighter servicing the east coast of Australia and sank in a cyclone in 1911, with all 121 lives lost. It was not properly discovered until 1958 and not dived with any frequency until the early 1980s. The Yongala is home to over 120 fish species, along with sea snakes, shovel-nosed rays, and huge Queensland gropers. Mass schools of fish congregate all over and around the wreck. Bull rays regularly patrol over the top of the wreck or on the sands below. There are several resident turtles that are very photogenic and used to divers. However, this loggerhead would have to be the friendliest. Once you've dived the Yongala wreck, you can see why it's considered one of the top 10 dive sites in the world. Much of the Seychelles is designated National Park, the highest proportion of any country in the world. And Seychelles is home to 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. One of these, the moody primeval Valley de Mai, is a place of legend. It's a mysterious glade where intricate patterns of shadow intermingle with 1,000 shades of green. And the only place on Earth where the world's heaviest sea, the Coco de Mar, is found. Some say this is the original Garden of Eden, a legend perpetuated by the suggestive shapes of both male and female fruits. Seychelles' other World Heritage Site is Aldevira, the planet's largest raised coral atoll. 100 years ago, the giant tortoise here had been hunted almost to extinction. But in a spectacular environmental success story, their numbers have increased, and over 150,000 now populate the atoll. Today in Seychelles, you can get closer to nature than you ever thought possible. Some islands are strictly preserved as nature reserves, giving the opportunity to see them in their pristine condition. Very much as they were before man arrived on this Indian Ocean outpost. The profusion of life on land is mirrored beneath the clear, warm waters of the Indian Ocean. Diving in Seychelles is about schools of bright-coloured fish, a stunning diversity of undersea life, even in the shallow reefs of the inner islands. The coral flats of islands such as Alphonse draw fly fishermen from around the world to what they say is the best bone fishing on the planet. The lunar appearance of the mid-oceanic coral flats provide a sensational backdrop for the sport. The outer islands of Seychelles have become the epicenter of saltwater fly fishing. A strict catch and release policy is observed. A variety of charter boats and expeditions are available for fishermen seeking the thrill of adventure in the deeper waters off the Seychelles bank. This is the stuff fishermen's tales are made of, an ocean teeming with countless species of fish ready to take the bait. You don't need to venture far offshore to have the chance of breaking fishing records. Sensual Seychelles have long been dubbed the Islands of Love. It's little wonder that lovers are inspired to take their vows and marry in this gentle and romantic atmosphere. Make this your rendezvous with destiny and set your own stage for the most romantic day of your life. Alongside warm azure waters fringed by silver soft sands. In today's ever more crowded world, the truth is that these islands remain as pure as it gets. Join us again when we next trek the globe and explore fabulous and exciting holiday destinations. For further information regarding any story on this episode, log on to www.pbtv.com.au. This program is proudly supported by PATA and Always Dive Australia.